Welcome to Discover San Diego. I'm your host, Valley, and we're back with Tyler Mathews. Welcome back to the show.
It's so fun to be here.
Yeah, you got things moving and shaking. You're doing a lot of business.
We're trying.
Yeah, and you have kids, right?
Yeah,
so
I do.
It's awesome to see a business owner and entrepreneur that has kids. And in San Diego, there's a lot of things that families can do together. And I know that you and your son like to fish, right?
We do. Yeah.
Okay, tell us about it.
Yeah, it's one of our fun things we've discovered. I grew up fishing as a little kid, and then life got busy, and I became an adult and kind of quit fishing and moved to San Diego, and my parents got me a rod and reel. It was like a really weird part of our life, like kind of like lonely, and we were new here. And they just like handed me a new fishing rod and reel. And they're like, you got to get back to fishing, So years ago, I started surf fishing. Surf fishing is really cool. Like you walk on the sand and you fish. And there's a lot of strategy. There's a lot of understanding what you're targeting. And that's kind of how it started. But now my son and I, we really enjoy fishing saltwater. So there's a lot of freshwater lakes. A lot of people don't know some of the biggest freshwater bass actually come from San Diego County in the country. A lot of world records are held here, but the saltwater scene for San Diego is incredible. So we started by kayak fishing. Kayak fishing in San Diego Bay or in Mission Bay is super fun. It's so relaxing. It's so peaceful. And there's so many different species you can catch. Then we started renting little skiffs. So you can rent skiffs in Mission Bay or in San Diego Bay, like out of Coronado. There's these little fishing boats with motors that you can rent. You can kind of get a little bit further. And it's fun. You like pack lunch with your kids, get a couple fishing rods. Probably the easiest thing to catch is spotted bay bass. They're everywhere, all throughout. If you don't catch a spotted bay bass on a trip, you're doing something wrong because they're always biting. It's really, really fun. But then there's halibut, there's sharks, there's rays, there's all these different species. It's really created like a fun thing that my son and I can do together, kind of unplug from the world. Maybe he brings a buddy or not. But it's just like such good one-on-one time. There's no screens, there's no TVs, we're just out in God's beautiful creation, trying to catch fish and talking about life. We've had literally some of our deepest conversations fishing. So we love it. It's really
I love
cool.
it too. And I like that you're teaching him like a necessary skill.
I agree.
Like,
yeah.
What if we had to actually needed to do that?
100%.
Like so many of our kids would know how to fish.
Yeah,
so.
he can absolutely do it. And then outside of San Diego Bay, I mean, there's so much fishing that San Diego offers. You can get on like a half-day boat for $40 or $50 and go out and catch yellowtail or rockfish. Like you can literally bring home like a freezer full of meat on some days, which is so cool. My wife loves, from sea to table type of dining and not thinking about how long has it been frozen, where did this come from. So you kind of gradually work up, but it's a great thing to do with your kids for sure.
I love it. I love when you're here. You always give us the best ideas.
Just
the coolest
it.
things, like little things about San Diego. You really have to be like a local to understand.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah,
that sounds so fun.
Yeah, appreciate it. It's fun sharing.
Well, thank you for sharing. Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.